It's almost lunchtime, but I thought I would hop on here for just a minute and tell you guys about something that I do to help stretch meals and make things last around here a little bit. As I've been going through the freezer and finding this and that maybe has been in there and it's time to use it up, especially right now, you know. Last week I found some turkey. I made turkey and dressing. I know it's not Thanksgiving, but it was great. It fed us, and we used it for many meals last week. This week I pulled out a ham. So I've got it in the roaster right now because it was too big for a regular pan. But I'm going to use that, and I'm going to make it tonight. We're going to have it with some fried potatoes and some pinto beans, just a good old country meal. But there's going to be lots of ham left over. And I know some people, I can't imagine, but I know some people don't love leftovers. But you can take the ham or the whatever you've made, the turkey or the beef or whatever, and you can make that into something else that doesn't feel like a leftover. Something that I'm going to do, I'm making a list of what I can use it for. Maybe I'll make a couple more of these this week, but maybe I'll make it and freeze it for another time. One thing I love to do is have the ham and make it into ham sandwiches. That's a great lunch, option around here. We'll use this ham and we'll shred it and cut it into chunks, and we'll use that for ham sandwiches at least for 1 or 2 days this week. We're supposed to get some rain at some point this week as well, and I thought on that night I would make a ham and potato soup. And then don't forget the ham bone. I'm going to definitely be keeping that and putting it in the freezer for the next time I want to make beans. I'll use some of it, and I'll use it for breakfast and make some ham and eggs, make like a big scramble ham with eggs and maybe some kale or spinach. And then another thing I like to do is use ham and chop it up into pieces, and you could put that into like a broccoli and cheese casserole. Really good that way, and some rice in there too to stretch it even further if you need to. So don't be afraid to take something and make it go even a little farther than you normally would. Especially nowadays, you want to make those meals go as far as you can reach with them. I know I'm trying my best not to go anywhere and do any extra shopping, so I'm just using reserves, and it's a great thing to have in reserve. So maybe you have some beans in your cabinet, or you have some rice. Take those things out and hop on the internet and find ways to use them up. I was going to show you while I'm here. This is a binder that I have, and it's it's old and it's stained and it's well loved and it's well used. And what I have it for is I don't remember everything, so I use this to print off things I saw online that I like to try, and then I'll even go in here and rate it, whether it was make this again, or if it was don't worry about it. I might even toss those. But I have some well-loved and well-used recipes here, and I build on that. Some things I even have is where a dear friend of mine, we went back and forth through Messenger long ago before there was texting and whatnot. I have those printed out in here where we talked about meals and how to stretch food and how to, because both of us have, hers family is a lot larger than mine, but we both had a lot of mouths to feed. And so stretching food and making meals, but healthfully, was important to both of us. So I have those conversations because our conversations went right along with our meal talk. And so I think at one point there was even like talking about the TV show Lost at one time, and she had asked me if I'd watched it. So it's a treasure to me to look back and see those. And then we talked about the recipe, a couple of little bubbles down. And then I have ways of doing things that, like, I had a disintegrated old paper of my grandmother's. Now, I may still have that paper, but I've also written the process down on or typed it up and put it in my binder. There are so many great cooks out there that you can learn from, and so much wisdom that you can gain from people around you that cook well. That's the kind of things that I save in here, because the internet is wonderful, but sometimes you may not have it. So having something right here in paper, in hand, is so nice to have. So let me encourage you to begin this. Find you a 3-ring binder. Go throw out some things that was in it before if need be, and start making some entries into this on things that you can do. Print you out some blank menus and make a menu. Go through your freezer inventory, make that. All these things are what's here in mine. It's like a homemaking recipe all in one binder. It's good to have. It's especially nowadays when we're seeing things that, sorry, the timer, lunch is almost ready. When we're seeing such a need to get back to the kitchen, such a need to get back to making meals at home. If you're not used to it, this would be a great help to you. And what I'll do is I'll start trying to share some of these recipes as well. And just, don't look at it as such a begrudging thing. Look at it as an opportunity to feed your family well, to all that money that you were spending on out to eat kind of meals, you're putting back into maybe higher quality foods eventually. Or you're putting it into a garden, or maybe some cast iron skillets. There's so many different things that you could benefit from by trying to save your pennies, eat better food, eat more at home, and get your kids involved in the process. My kids can cook some things. I'm still working on that. They need to cook more. But it's something that we all need to maybe take another look at and see the benefit from it. So hope that's an encouragement to you today. I'm still not loving this in front of the camera thing. It's very not me. I've always just been behind the camera. I'll take pictures of you and I'll, film you, but filming myself is different because I'm very, very critical. So, hope this is a blessing to you, and just keep yourself and your family well, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.